In this video, I'm going to tell you why exercising or continuing to work out throughout the summer is going to help you get the confidence and the physique that you want, and I'm going to go through a week in my life on vacation at the beach where I exercise and how I find the motivation to do so. My name is Victoria. I'm a former cross-country and track athlete and a current nutrition student at the University of Alabama. So summer can be a really hard time to maintain your physique and to maintain your exercise goals because of how unpredictable it can be. It gets so hot and it can be really hard to want to continue working out, and also you have so many things pop up like your vacation trips and going out with friends and doing all the fun things that summer is supposed to be about. And why would you spend time exercising when you could take advantage of that free time? I know what you're thinking because I've been there before. Another thing is that a lot of people get their summer body during the springtime and then don't work out whatsoever in the summer. But then you're not going to be in the best shape that you can be by the time that school goes around, and then you're not maintaining a consistent exercise routine throughout the whole year, which can be really beneficial. By starting to exercise now or continuing the exercise routine that you had during the springtime, you're going to have more confidence when school goes around, and you're going to be able to maintain that exercise routine better when you have all these classes and things going around because you've already made it a habit. Now, before this week, I had not run at the beach since high school. It has been about 4 years since I have taken a little run at Gulf Shores. But what's funny is even since then, I've brought my tennis shoes, I've brought my workout clothes, I've brought everything that I might need, even some dumbbells if I'm gonna wanna exercise, but I never do, even though I have all the supplies and all the equipment. So what is different about this year? Well, this year, not only have I brought all the stuff, but I'm really trying to get back into running. And I knew that when I was coming to the beach, I was gonna be on week 4 and 5 of my little running journey. And I knew that I was not gonna give up just because of some things that I may or may not miss out on. And also, when I really thought about it, I internalized the fact that, hey, I can work out and I can still walk on the beach, and I can still have fun with everybody, and I can still go out, I can swim, I can play in the sand, I can lay out on the beach, because it's just gonna take up such a small portion of my morning that it's not gonna make that much of a difference in my relaxation time. The only difference would be is that I'm still gonna be going towards my goals, and when I get done with this trip, I'm gonna feel so good about myself and so proud that I really continued to reach my goals and to strive for my exercise routine. So we got to the beach on Saturday, which is usually my rest day. So on Sunday was the first day that I actually ran, and Sunday is kind of what I'm trying to make my long run day be, but since I'm only on week 4, it's not that much mileage yet. Good morning, everyone. Going for about 4.5 miles today. Yesterday my shins were kind of hurting, my right one specifically, but I iced it and hopefully we're all good now. So yeah, there's a crab right there. Oh my gosh, look at him, look at him, look at him, look at me. Okay, half a mile is by these rose bushes and that really big pretty tree, and right before we get to the colorful houses. I need to know this because my watch is like totally about to die soon, and so I need to know how far I'm going to be going for my other runs. I'm gonna have to keep track because my watch might only last me for this run, and then I might be on my own. I obviously planned ahead enough to know where I was going to run, how much I was going to run, and to bring weights, but I obviously did not plan ahead enough to bring my watch charger, and it definitely died. In the past, this actually would have been a huge roadblock for me, but on this week, I really treated it like a challenge, and I used its last remaining battery to kind of mark my turnaround points for the rest of the week. 1 mile down. Okay, this is the other one I have to remember. 1.5 miles is about at that shack, because a few days this week I'm doing 3 miles, so I'll have to turn around right there. Now, another part of planning ahead is knowing your surroundings. I knew that I was going to Gulf Shores, and at this beach at least, there's really not a good place to run on the sand or actually on the beach. Even when you get down to where the water is kind of flowing over the sand, it's just so uneven that I knew that my hips would feel out of place and my shins might get a little uneven pressure than the other one, and I really thought that that might open me up for injuries. So I knew that actually running on the beach was not going to be the move. So using this information before I came, I kind of assessed the surrounding areas, and I figured out that there was a really good running lane on the inside of the bike lane where I could run. Me on the pedestrian, there's the bike lane, there's the road. And they also have a state park just down the road from where we were staying, so that I could go there and I could run inside of that kind of protected area where there were no cars. All right, so we are coming up on the Gulf Shores State Park. It's really pretty. I know the camera's bouncing because I'm running. You can see like the dunes to the left where all the buildings are and the ocean's on the other side. And then we're coming up on this little bridge, which is gonna take us over into the state park. It looks like it's just gonna be a beautiful day. Honestly, yesterday the waves looked gorgeous, and last night they were like completely still. So we'll see how that goes. We'll get to see if we go on the boat this week. I think we will. But look how pretty. And you can't see it that well, but you can kind of see the sunrise as we are going over the bridge, over the road. Speed limit 10. Promise I won't be going that. There's the bay on that side. Just hit 2 miles. Now I'm turning around at 2.25. Coming back over the bridge. And that's 3. Kind of thinking that I maybe should have brought sunglasses because I am staring straight into the sun. And that's 4. And that's 4.5. So that was 4.5 out of, I think I'm running 17 miles this week. So that was my kind of like long run. I think it went pretty well. I felt good the whole time, so that's a big win. So now I'm just gonna go in and I'm gonna have my little homemade sports drink with plenty of salt in it to replenish the electrolytes that I just lost by sweating actual buckets, because it's already like, I think 75 or 80 degrees outside, and it will only get hotter with the sun, which I don't mind. Actually, that's one of the reasons I love the beach, is because I feel like warm to my bones, you know, like that, really just as warm as you can possibly get. But I am gonna drink my sports drink, gonna replenish those electrolytes, and then it's beach day time. How gorgeous. Good morning, buddy. Good morning. I'm also actually going to stretch now because, like I said, my right shin has been hurting, so I want to make sure to treat that right and not skip my stretching. So after I finished up stretching, it was time to get ready to go down to the beach, where we just laid out, we talked, relaxed. It's really just the most fun and relaxing thing to just be able to sit and have not a worry in the world. And then it was time to choose where we wanted to go to dinner. Now, there's a new place at the Gulf called Avenue Pub, and there is one in Tuscaloosa that we like, so we decided to give this one a chance too. But we got sat way too close to the music, so we couldn't hear each other the whole time, but it was pretty good. So the next morning I was back to running. Every morning when I woke up this week, I made my little like hydration drink, which if you watch my video on how I am hydrating in Alabama heat, this is a little thing that I do to get enough sodium and electrolyte replenishment when I know that I'm gonna be sweating a ton. So I put in my ½ teaspoon of salt, which is what's recommended, and I basically put that in the fridge to save it for when I came back after my run. And I just got ready for the rest of my run and took my time. Good morning, guys. It's the next day. I am getting ready to go on my second run of this week. I am going for 3 miles today, and I don't think it'll be too bad. I'm getting out nice and early again. It's about 5:30 right now. I woke up at 5. I feel like I woke up at like 4:30, kind of waiting for it to go off, but it's okay. I'm stretching right now, getting ready to go. Oh, it's just so pretty to see the sunrise. Like the colors are just in the clouds, and I can like see the moon up there and like some stars. It's just so gorgeous. And I just realized I totally left my watch upstairs. So I'm gonna go get that. To me personally, the sacrifice of waking up early in the morning, even when the sun hasn't risen yet, is worth it. Even though you're going to bed early and maybe missing out on some late night fun with your family, at least you're beating the heat and your run or your exercise is not going to be miserable. Because I promise, even if you have one miserable hot run down here, it will make you not want to run it for the rest of the week. Now, if you have a gym room in your condo or if you're staying at a bigger building, this obviously wouldn't be an issue because it would be air conditioned and you could go at any time of the day and it really wouldn't be a problem. And that sometimes could be more optimal. But me personally, even when I'm on vacation, going to bed early, even if I'm waking up early, makes me feel so much more rested for the rest of the day, and I just feel so much more energized. Watch secured. So I like to get up early because then also the sun is not gonna get me, except for on the way back yesterday. Y'all saw it was like in my eyes. So I don't know how far it will get up today because I'm running like 1.5 miles less. We will see if I can turn around before the sun really gets up. But if it does, it'll be okay. This is what nature's supposed to do, so I can't really be too angry at it. Okay, let's get this run. The other thing about like running and exercising at the beach that I don't think I really knew or expected is that a lot of people are exercising at the beach. Like, for example, I used to, if I wasn't running, every day at sunrise I would be walking down the beach and I never saw anybody running on the beach. And honestly, yesterday on my run I saw like a lot of people out here. I thought people would be going to like the state park to run or like on the beach, but it's really not the case. They're really just out here on the road, but you wouldn't realize it if you're like in your house not running or anything like that. So that's been a pleasant surprise, and it's made me feel less alone trying to keep up my, exercise and trying to keep up my running journey even while I'm on vacation. Once you see other people working for and chasing their goals, it makes it validating to you that the exercise that you're doing is so worth it. It makes me feel kind of good to think that like if I had slept in, all these other people would still be running and I would just be the one who's missing out on reaching my goals and missing out on going after my exercise. And I will say another thing is like, it is really hard to wake up when it's dark, especially like for me. I just love the light. So even though it's hard to wake up when it's dark, it's kind of worth it when you see like the view of the sunrise in the morning. That's my one. Look, this view is even better. I mean, how lucky am I to get to run on such a beautiful beach like this? Or I guess I'm not on the beach, I'm on the road next to the beach, but hey, that's good enough for me. And I am turning around at 0.5, sorry, 1.5. I mean, really, it's like, when are you gonna see these views? Except for, I guess, at like sundown, but I kind of think sunrise colors are still really pretty. Also, that was a lot of cars behind me just now. That kind of freaked me out. I really should be running on that side of the road, but there's no crosswalk up there. And I'm even more scared of crossing the road where I'm not supposed to. So I'll just stay on the side and run a little closer to the grass maybe. I think it's really awesome to be able to wake up early and really take in the surroundings of all of your vacation area. Especially if you're in a new place or a new part of the world, it's really cool to get to wake up and really see all that there is to see about this location. The sun is coming up now, and this is such a dangerous stage because it doesn't even hurt your eyes when you look at it. So then you feel like you don't have to look away. But no, I feel like it's gonna blind me. I'm trying to look down at the road while keeping good running posture. Mile 2, and that's 3. I am done and sweaty and hot and tired. But let me tell you, I'm not as hot as I would be if I left any later than 5:30 a.m. Now, I'm gonna go inside and then I'm gonna stretch, and then I'm gonna eat a big fat breakfast with eggs, toast, berries, chocolate milk. It's gonna be delicious, it's gonna be awesome. And that's what I'm doing next. I mean, so many people are missing this absolutely gorgeous view. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Good morning. So for the rest of the day, we went on the boat and it felt like the hottest day ever. Everyone was so wiped out after, and I think I was okay because I had really been prioritizing drinking water and like staying in the shade. But it was so hot. We stopped for the lunch at the tiki bar just to get like frozen daiquiris, which may have not been the best idea because obviously alcohol does dehydrate you, but man, was it so good in that moment. We had a nice little view of people cleaning and cutting up the fish that they had caught in the ocean, and then we headed home. And now we're just literally like hanging out in our pajamas on the couch with all the curtains closed because it was so hot and I feel like we need to be wrapped in darkness now. We have now finished napping and resting, and it's to dinner we go. We're thinking of going somewhere on the beach because it's a Monday and a lot of people were not at the boat dock today. So we're thinking that maybe that means that not a lot of people will be at the restaurants. That might not be true, but we will see. So off to dinner we go. It's good.
So I guess he got it. Did I get this?
Look how picturesque over there. And then it's like huge storm. It ended up pouring down rain the rest of the night, but it was actually very cozy. And because I had run earlier that morning and because of the heat exhaustion from being on the boat, plus the cozy rainy vibes, I was able to go to bed so quick that night and so early. And now on to the next morning for my first weights workout of the week. Good morning, everyone. It is the next day and I'm about to start my day with a 1 mile run, and after that we're gonna get a little gym session in with my 2 10-pound dumbbell weights. So let's go. And once again, the sunrise is sunrising. How gorgeous. My watch did in fact die yesterday, so for the rest of this week I'm not gonna be able to see like what my heart rate is or anything, but that's okay. My brother's coming next week with a charger, so we'll be back on track then. But for now, I'm just gonna have to feel it out. And I am turning around at half a mile. All right, y'all, that is 1 mile done. Now on to the gym workout. So it's super important to be flexible about what's available to you and really bringing whatever you think you'll be able to use. Like if you don't own dumbbells or any other types of weights, you can always do body weight exercises or climb stairs or something. I also have seen people at the beach who literally find bricks outside of their houses and use those to do exercise as well. And honestly, these 10-pound dumbbells were a little annoying to bring and unpack, but they were really helpful for keeping me with my workout goals, and it was something that I was used to doing back at home. I basically just went underneath the house where my movements would not bother anyone, and I got to work. Although what is important to state here is that I did not put any pressure on the expectation of working out under the house. I was also prepared to have to go down to the beach. I was prepared to have to go all the way back up the driveway. I was prepared for all different types of scenarios, or even doing it quietly in my room, because I knew that I would have to be kind of flexible with the exercise that I was doing that week. With my weightlifting recently, especially when using small, easily movable weights like these, I've been focusing a lot more on injury prevention by really trying to strengthen my shins, my knees, and my hips, along with all my major muscle groups. And here's a great example of me being flexible about something and using this picnic bench. You really can't let any change or any differential of what you're expecting get you down too much or discourage you from working out altogether, because chasing goals is not always going to be easy, and sometimes you have to take advantage of your environment and really not let things bother you. now my workout is complete and I just feel proud of myself and like I'm sticking to my goals, and I love that feeling of just going through the rest of the day and not feeling guilty at all. And I know that when I get back from vacation, I'm also not gonna feel like, man, I wish I did something, or man, like I lost my streak and I'm not on track anymore. So I'm really glad. Now, I'm gonna walk down this boardwalk and we're gonna face the birds. The birds. I'm not really sure that I made it clear about these birds and what the deal is with them, but essentially what has happened, and this started last year, but the beach will put up basically poles and rope to keep people off from certain areas of the private property on the beach. And what they do is they send like a survey to all the property owners and say, would you like to host a habitat for these birds that are laying eggs? Now, we thought that we had checked no on that box, but evidently by them being there, I guess we checked yes on accident. None of the condos checked yes. A lot of the other houses don't check yes. Oh, but guys, it's just like a nightmare because these birds, they're not endangered, I promise. There are like millions of them on this beach. But when you get close to their nest, like by us walking from our house down to the beach, they will swoop down at you. They'll grab your hair. They will poop on you. That's like their line of defense. Like it's like they are trying to poop in their predator's eyes to make them go away and like not see anything. And so we are having to go out there with towels over our heads, with umbrellas over our heads, trying to avoid these pooping, dive bombing, screeching birds. It honestly is very scary. Last year I ran to get away from them every time, but that just hurt my shins too much this go around. And especially with my running already, that was just not the move. So I just peacefully took it with a towel over my head, and I got a lot of doo-doo on my towel, but it was well worth it. And the funny thing is, they'll come out over the ocean to look for food, but since they're not near a nest, and since you're not near their nest, they won't do anything to you. They'll just kind of fly around, they'll swoop down and try to get something. You can see this guy, it's kind of choppy waves, so he's looking around for something to eat, not quite finding it here, not quite feeling comfortable to go down. There's another one. There's one of their predators. That's something that they will literally circle. Look at him chasing him down. They're like, get the heck out of our territory. Get the heck out. Look at that. Oh yeah, now there's a whole troop behind them. Good luck, buddy. Godspeed. So now that I finished my workout for the day, I can just be free to do whatever I want. I am walking on the beach right now. I'm probably going to do more beach walking than I have done the past few days because I only ran a mile, so I'm going to get my steps in. It feels actually really good. The clouds, as you can see, are a little bit stormy. Probably won't rain actually on the beach. I just saw some lightning out there, but it feels really good and breezy and awesome. So I'm just enjoying this. It's that time in the morning where everybody has set up their chairs, but there's like nobody out yet. So it just looks like an empty beach full of chairs and nothing else. It's quite peaceful. That quite kind of looks like the UK. Yep. And I think our plan for the rest of the day is just to beach out, bring the chairs down, come back in when it's high UV from like 12 to 2, and then head back out there. So yeah. And if you think about it, exercising during everyday life is much more tiring because you're having to go to work after and do all these things, whereas on vacation you get to exercise and then just lay out and enjoy your time. And after a relaxing day on the beach, the next day it was back to running. And it started to feel really peaceful waking up as the sun was, and waking up and just enjoying the early hours of the day when I could move my body outside without having to stress about the UV or reapplying sunscreen. Guys, this is the second morning in a row. Oh my gosh, look, the bunny rabbit is back and look how close he is to me. Literally. 2 days in a row, what are the chances? Oh my gosh. Good morning, guys. It is the next day, and I'm about to go run 3 miles, so come along with me. So yesterday, after we basically sat out on the beach, it was so nice. We swam for like 2 hours, and it was literally the most fun ever. Like, I had the time of my life. I did get stung by a jellyfish right here on my thigh, but it's okay, all good, no sweat. So it was so fun. I love swimming. It's one of my favorite things to do ever, but I think that it really exerted a lot of energy, because when we went to dinner, which I didn't show you guys, when we went to dinner, I at first didn't feel that hungry when we were about to go. And then when we were in the car on the way to dinner, I started feeling so hungry. And I feel like my blood sugar just like bottomed out, like just dropped, because I felt so awful. And then once we got to the restaurant, this was the first day where we had to wait like 30 minutes for our table, maybe even 40. And it just, oh, it was miserable. I mean, I felt like I couldn't even exert the energy to like talk to anyone, because it was just like I was like headed and my stomach hurt and everything was just awful. But it was all okay because I got my grouper sandwich blackened. It was delicious, and luckily it was a lot bigger than I was expecting. It was like a whole po' boy, so that was really good. And then it really took the chocolate ice cream afterwards to really get me feeling back to normal. But gosh, I just felt in the gutter. I felt horrible. But this morning I ate my banana, now I'm on my run. I'm gonna be eating a big breakfast afterwards. I think I was just hungry in general yesterday. Like, I felt hungry immediately after eating breakfast. So I don't know, maybe that means I need to eat more, or I just need to have more snacks throughout the day. But I just feel like small frequent meals work best for me, I guess. I don't know. I love when these soft passages of grass come up, because running on the asphalt the whole time just does not feel good on my legs. And I am turning around at 1.5 now to finish the rest of my run, watching these beautiful clouds. It looks like the sun might not get me in the eyes. As you can see, we've got a pretty little rainbow cloud situation happening, but maybe the sun will stay behind the clouds, and then I'll just see the colors and not the actual burning ball of fire. And that's 3. Whew. Halfway through the week, y'all. Getting these workouts and knocking them out. How gorgeous. Clearly you can tell that I was feeling chatty on that run. I do miss running with other people, but a good podcast will usually do the trick. Now, I also love that I get to enjoy the sunrise even more by stretching by the ocean and really taking in the gorgeous views. Stretching after my runs really does not take too long, but in a place so beautiful as the beach, it makes me just want to sit out and stretch forever, which is so beneficial for my limbs, because usually I'm too impatient to really hold those stretches for probably as long as I should. So I think our plans today are to go back on the boat, except as hot as it was the other day, I think we're planning to leave like super early, but these waves might be a little big. Some people get really seasick, so we might not be fishing today, because the trolling and the sitting and doing like that is really what makes everybody seasick. We might just be riding, which is my favorite thing because we go fast and it's really fun. So I think boat is still on the agenda for this morning, and we're gonna try to beat the heat and not be out during the PQB times, because that was our big problem last time, is that we were out in like the middle of the day when obviously it's gonna be the hottest. Obviously it's gonna feel the worst. It was mild torture, and I love being on the boat. Like, being on the boat is one of my favorite things, but gosh, I was absolutely sweating. So hopefully, I think it's about 6:30 now. Just walking on the beach, just stretched. I think it's about 6:30. I think everybody's gonna wake up at 7. And I think we're gonna be leaving by 8 a.m. so that we can be back by 12, because I think the UV is really gonna spike around 1 yesterday and the day before. And the day before that, it got up to 11, which is absolutely extreme and way too high. I feel like my face has definitely gotten burned. You can't really see, maybe you can see in that lighting, but yeah, it was rough. So we're gonna get out early. We're getting on the boat, and I'm just loving my feet in the sand and in the water. I'm having the time of my life. Honestly, waking up early today kind of made me the MVP because I was already awake and energized to go boating while everybody else was still pretty groggy and still asleep. Exercising in the morning hasn't taken anything away from me being able to relax and enjoy my time with everyone and doing fun activities like being on the boat. We actually went back to the tiki bar this day because it was so good the first time and it was just as good the second go around. I got the maki tacos and they were so good. I just enjoyed chatting with everyone so much. And I'm not really exactly sure why I rolled my sleeves up like this, but I can definitely tell you that it was pretty dang hot again this day. Fueling and hydrating when it's so hot is so important when you're on summer vacation, and even more important when you're also exercising on top of that. I was constantly drinking water on the boat and had so many snacks packed for when we were idling in the water and not going too fast. And that was pretty much it for that Wednesday. Honestly, the week has gone so well so far, and I was feeling really enthusiastic about what I was doing with my running, and I felt really good about myself so far. As you can tell, I woke up with a lot of energy this morning and just felt so excited to go and move my body after just sitting on the boat and just sitting in the house all day yesterday. Taking the time to warm up this early in the morning can be easy to skip, but with my history of injuries, I am being very diligent about warming up and avoiding these injuries as much as possible. The sky looks very gloomy today. I've been seeing a lot of little, oh, there's lightning. A lot of little lightnings pop up. Don't know if there's rain happening out there or not. Alright guys, today is the last morning of this week that I've got to run 3 miles. Tomorrow is just another gym session and 1.5 miles. So this is our last longer distance, and I say longer because I plan to basically go much further than this in the coming weeks. But yes, this is our last 3-mile run, and I'm excited. It's not that light, as you can tell, as it has been other mornings. It is, in fact, a little bit stormy, and I'm hoping that it lights up a little bit and like these clouds kind of dissipate, because I don't want to be running in the dark. But I am wearing a very neon yellow tank top, so I guess of all mornings that I could have worn this is a good one. Let's go. So the way that exercising has made me feel this week, I've honestly felt more energized. I feel like I've been taking advantage of my days more because I've been getting up earlier. And I feel like tired in a good way. Like I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like I'm ready to go to sleep. I feel relaxed. And I feel like, I don't know, I just felt like a lot more at peace with myself throughout the day, and I feel like I've really been able to like take advantage of the rest on this vacation. I'm still getting the most out of my vacation. I'm still getting plenty of rest time, but I'm just being active while doing it. Because sometimes, you know, when you get back from vacation, you kind of feel like you need to rest from your vacation, and I don't feel like I'm going to be like that. I feel like I've been really well rested, but I also feel like I've been doing my body right and getting all the time that I need of moderate intensity exercise. So yeah, and I am turning around at 1.5 and heading back the other way where the lighting is always better. Also, I'm stoked because there has been no sun in my eyes this morning, and I'm hoping that there won't be because of how cloudy it is. I think the UV today is only supposed to get to 6, which is perfect because I've gotten way too much sun, way more than I was expecting to, and way more than I was wanting to this week. You know, trying to keep my skin safe, but as you can see, I've developed a little bit of a tan from the beginning of this week, and that's 3. Whew. Man, this week has simultaneously gone by like really fast and really slow. Like I feel like I'm like running every day, and that's going by really quick, but like the days last so long afterwards, because it's like now it's like what, 6, and I'm up for the rest of the day. I'm so excited to have a beach day again, to go out and swim and not get sunburned this time. Not going to happen, but yeah. Oh, that felt good. And like I was just saying, being awake in the early morning has increased my appreciation for this location and just made the trip feel so long in the very best way. Now, like I said, I'm just chillaxing for the rest of the day and taking everything in. Usually Thursday is a pretty sad day for me at the beach because it means that we only have one day left after that, which is Friday. But on this trip, I actually felt pretty content and pretty good about us being able to leave because I had just done so much this week. And on top of that, I had still been exercising. I felt like the days were longer. I felt like I was getting more in, and I was just so happy about my week. We literally just got out of the ocean from like playing and swimming, and literally like right there where we were swimming was so many dolphins, like a whole pack of them just jumping and playing with each other, which better than sharks for sure, but it is funny that that happened literally right after we got out of the water. It was a little bit freaky, but really cool to see. I love dolphins. That night, we made fish tacos, and they were so good. Good morning, everyone. It is a lot later than I usually get started. It's actually about 7:15 right now. I woke up at 5, but to the biggest crack of thunder ever, like so loud. And it was just a lightning storm all across the ocean. So I looked at the weather and it said that it was gonna keep going for a while. So I just kind of laid around and waited, and now it's about 7:15. I was just about to go run because I thought it was clearing, but it's definitely raining. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead with my weights and do a little weight portion of the workout. And then if it stops raining by the time I'm done, then I'll go on my little 1.5 mile run. And if I don't go on a run now, like if it's just still raining like this, then I may do it later. I may do it tomorrow. Saturday's supposed to be my rest day, so we will see if I do it tomorrow, but that is the plan right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these weights in, and then to be determined about the run. This is flexibility and going with the flow at its finest. The weather can definitely be a big variable factor, and I definitely could have just gone out to run while it was drizzling, but instead I was all right with changing my schedule up, waiting a little bit longer in the day, and again, really taking advantage of the large covered area under the porch. This day I did a lot more core and stability exercises, and I just enjoyed the atmosphere of the rain and how different it made the clouds and the dunes look. Guys, my prayers were answered. We're good to go on a run. It is definitely still sprinkling, but hey, I can handle a little bit of rain. I will say, because it's so late now, I think it's like 8 a.m. now, there are gonna be a lot more cars on the road, which stinks, so I'm just gonna have to be really careful not to get hit. I will say the rain is very cooling though. It's a little bit different than our sunrise views, but still pretty regardless. So you can see it's raining. Also, because I did do weights first, I'm definitely feeling all the muscle groups that I hit, which I don't totally enjoy, but hey, it's okay. And I'm turning around at 1 point, well, not, or I think 0.75. Oh my God, guys, I'm like exhausted, can't think. I'm having pain all up and down my right side, I think because I really didn't fuel myself properly because I was so up in the air about if I was gonna be running. I cannot wait to eat breakfast. I cannot wait to stop running. This is like probably the only rough run that I've had this weekend. Boy, it's kicking my booty, and it's short. It's only gonna be 1.5 total, but Lord, it's humid and hot. Oh my God, that's 1.5. I'm done. Oh my gosh, guys, this is what happens when I don't fuel properly for my runs and workouts. It makes me feel so awful. I feel like I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving. I feel like I had no juice. I feel like I was running on nothing. Oh my God. That was awful. If you want to see how I usually fuel myself to feel amazing during my runs and workouts, you can go look at my video about running in Alabama heat and how I properly fuel and hydrate myself through it. But Lord, did not follow that advice today. That was absolutely rough, but it's okay. Now I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna eat the fattest breakfast of my life because I'm starving. And then we're gonna have a fun last day if it doesn't rain all day. Just eating a complete breakfast really did a world of difference because I was almost immediately feeling better, more energized, and ready to take on our last day at the beach, which was so sad, but all right. So, I just got down to the beach. I'm by myself, at least for right now. And I thought I would go with you and show you what's in my beach bag. First of all, the bag itself is really beautiful. This is a Swig bag. This is like the label on it. It's so sturdy and waterproof and durable, and it's just a really nice size bag. It fits so much and I really love it. I think I got it from a Christmas present from my boyfriend's mom, but it's gorgeous. Okay, now let's look at what we have inside. First and foremost, water bottle. I've got my Hydro Flask, my 32 ounces. This is my first one of the day, so I have to go through 3 of these to get all the water that I need. Stay hydrated, that's so important. The next thing I have is my book for entertainment. I am reading, this is like the first new book in the Shatter Me series, and I read that so long ago. I knew this was coming out, so I reread that whole series, and now I'm on this one, which is from me not remembering the main character's name. Jake? Luke? Will? James. James is the main character's name. This is from James' perspective and him like grown up. So I've been thoroughly enjoying this, getting through it very slowly, but hey, I only have a little bit left. Next, for entertainment, I have my JBL speaker. This is one of my favorite Christmas presents. A long time ago, like at the beginning of high school, I got a smaller one and I used it like every day of my life. And so recently my mom got me this big one and I love it so much. It has this nice little like pad for like you can lay it down, you can stand it up, it's waterproof, it like bounces. I absolutely love this. Then I have my sunglasses, of course. These were a graduation present from my nanny. They are Ray-Bans and they're so gorgeous and cute, and I love the way that they look on my face, and I love that they protect my eyes from the sun. And I also have a cheaper pair for if I really want to wear some in the water. These are the some of the Gooder glasses, so I think these were like $20, and these were the pair that I had before I got these after I graduated. So I brought these for if I'm going swimming. And then also, of course, I brought my sunscreen. I should have brought spray because that's the best, honestly, for reapplying when you're down by the sand. Those birds just got so loud. They're chasing. But I should have brought spray because that's much easier for when you're reapplying and you have sand all over you. But I have this. Honestly, I feel like we've been through so many bottles of the spray sunscreen this week. It has been hot and the UV has been up. I also have sunscreen chapstick, of course, because you can still get sun cancer on your lips. And then I also have a couple snacks for in case I get really hungry and I don't want to go up. So this should last me for a while, and yes, I'm excited. I'm gonna sit, I'm gonna read, and I might swim in a while, and my plan is to be out here from 9 until 11 or like 11:30 because that is when the UV starts to shoot up, and that will be when I'm going inside to eat some lunch and basically just not be in the sun during that time because listen, I'm already more tan than I had meant to be, okay? And I'm not trying to be in the sun like that. I'm really not. So that's the plan for today. Let me show you my gorgeous view right now. This is my view. I'm right by the water. Love it. Love it. Look at all those birds circling. Holy cow. what's going on. Maybe there's a big predator bird in the area. There's also a lot of driftwood and seaweed. I feel like a lot of stuff really came up the other day. But yes, I'm hoping that the water will clear up today. Let's go take a look at what the water looks like right now. It looks nice. It looks nice. It's a little green, cute, fun. Still not clear enough for my liking, but I'm sure that once the sun gets higher in the sky, where is it even now? I don't know, it's behind the clouds. It's like all the way up there actually. So once it gets above, it will definitely look clearer, but I don't want my sunscreen to wash off too much yet. So for now, I'm just gonna go back and sit in my chair and read. All right, so that was my 1 week working out at the beach. That was what I did to exercise, how much I ran every day, what kind of weights I lifted, how I woke up in the morning for it, and how I've stayed motivated through it all. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. I hope that you got something out of it, and I hope that if you have any vacations left this summer, that you can take this video as kind of a guide to think ahead and know what you have to do to stay on your fitness goals, because I know you can reach your goals. You know you can reach your goals because you are awesome, you are capable, and yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.